All right, so let's move on here. So tip number 4, create new content regularly, okay? It is really, really important. I cannot impress upon you guys how important it is to add new content to your website frequently, okay? Right here at the top, big font, Google loves fresh content, okay? If you haven't changed your website in a year, you need to do that, okay? Google doesn't like websites that have old information or haven't been updated lately. As I said before, they also don't like websites that are not mobile friendly. And guess what? If you haven't updated your website in over a year, I guarantee you it is not mobile friendly, okay? So what do I mean by keep your website updated, add fresh content? What do I mean by that, okay? I'm not just telling you guys to, add sentences to different pages randomly. No, that's not at all what I'm talking about, okay? So let's be clear. If you don't have a blog or at least a news or PR page, you need to create one ASAP, okay? That's a great way to add new content to your website, okay? Blog posts, news about your company, press releases, things like that, okay? Blog posts, videos, company news, testimonials, okay? Things like that make a huge impact on your SEO as well, all right? Make sure all your blog content is easily shareable using share this buttons, okay? So you want to make it really easy for someone who's reading a blog post. If they really like that blog post, you want a little button that says share this to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, right at the bottom of that blog post, okay? That's really important. You want to make sure your content is shareable, okay? It's great that the person reading it likes it, but other people might like it too, and they may want to share it with them. So make it easy for them to do that, okay? Add social feeds or widgets to your blog so people can see what you're sharing. So I'm sure you guys have seen this, right? On certain websites, they have a little widget, so it looks like a vertical rectangle, and it has your last 5 tweets or your last 5 Instagram posts or your last 5 Facebook posts. This is a great way to show your audience and your visitors the types of things you're sharing on social media, right? If the stuff you're sharing on social media looks interesting, it looks resourceful, you're sharing thought leadership posts or articles that tell me you know what you're talking about, or you have some expertise in your industry, that's huge credibility on your website without me even having to go to your social media networks, okay? So this is the type of content I'm talking about that you should keep updating, keep adding to your website, okay? Now, I don't mean clutter, right? I mean things that are helpful to your audience, right? Don't just add stuff to add stuff. Another thing, make sure it's easy for visitors to find your social media icons, okay? One of my pet peeves is, I go to a website of a brand or a company I really like and I want to follow them on social media, or they don't have a social media feed or widget and I want to see what they're sharing. If I can't find how to get to your social media profile on your website, it irks me, right? And sometimes I've left a website. So you want to make sure it's easy to find those icons, right? Whether they're in your header or above the fold. If you're not familiar with the term above the fold, I'll tell you exactly what that means, okay? So above the fold means anything that is above where you have to start scrolling, okay? So you load this, you load this homepage. As soon as you start scrolling, all of this content is below the fold, okay? Anything I can see before I start scrolling is what's called above the fold, okay? So as you can see here, I've got my company's social media icons front and center, right at the top in the header, okay? So if you click these, they take you directly to my company's social media profiles, and they make it really easy. I also put them in the footer, okay? So if you're at the bottom of the page and you want to get to them too, you can do that. Now I have what's called a sticky navigation. So this part at the top and the nav stays at the top of the screen no matter how you scroll. But the point I want to make is make it easy for people to follow you on social media and you'll get more social media followers, okay? It's very simple. If I have to, look around your website to figure out how to follow you on social media, That's not a good user experience. It's going to frustrate some people, and you're not going to get social media growth, okay? One last thing about that, guys. Make sure when you add or have social media icons on your site, test them. Make sure that they go to your social media profile, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've gone to clients' websites before, you know, we fix them or build them or redesign them, and I click on their Facebook icon and it says it has a 404 error, or it goes to Facebook and there's, you know, there's no page there. It's just an error message, okay? When you add social media icons, whether it's a plugin for WordPress or whatever type of, you know, website content management system you use, sometimes it puts in default values, and some people forget to put in the URL to their Facebook page. So really make sure that your social media icons on your website go to the right place, okay? Otherwise, that's a really bad experience for your visitors, okay? The last one here, in terms of content, updating content on your website, a great way to strategize in terms of content marketing is to create something called a content series, okay? This can be a blog series, this could be a video series, you could create a trend report, but basically what this does is you can focus on a topic with different themes weekly, okay? So visitors have a reason to come back. So for example, if I create a blog or let's say video series, right? Sean's social media secrets, okay? Twitter edition, right? Maybe that's 1 week, okay? And then the next week I do Sean's social media secrets Instagram edition, okay? And then the next week I do a blog post that's Sean's social media secrets Snapchat edition, okay? And guess what? At the bottom of each of those blog posts, I am writing a call to action, and that call to action says, make sure you tune in next week, or make sure you check in next week when we're going to share another blog post in this series talking about my secret tips for growth on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, okay? This gives people a reason to come back to your website. Guess who really likes it when people come back to your website frequently? Google, okay? So if you have a lot of repeat visitors, that tells Google, okay, clearly there's content here people are enjoying and coming back to look at, all right? Further down in that series, you can use calls to action such as, you know, if you like this edition, you know, check out our edition from last week where we talk about Snapchat secrets to growth, okay? So connect your content. That's what I'm telling you to do, okay? Link to it, talk about it if there's other blog posts or articles in the series, because if it's a good piece of content, people will come back week after week, or if it's a video, people will tune in to YouTube or your website or Vimeo or whatever platform you use because they want to see the next iteration in that series, okay? So yes, it's great to create individual blog posts with a specific topic and, you know, talk about those things, but it's also really advantageous to create these series, right? Because it gives people a reason to come back.